Good morning, students. Today we are going to solve the exercise problems of chapter 1, that is number system. So we'll start with exercise 1.1. So let us start with the first question. The first question is 0 a rational number? Can you write it in the form p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0? So the question is asked, can we write 0 as a rational number? So the answer is yes. Why? 0 is a rational number because it can be written in any one of the following forms. As I told you earlier, a rational number is a number which can be expressed in the form of p by q, where q is not equal to 0. It means like a fraction. So obviously 0 we can write like 0 by 1 or 0 by 2, 0 by minus 1 or 0 divided by any number. So the answer is yes, 0 can be expressed as a rational number. Okay. Can you write it in the form of p by q? Yes, this 0 by 1, 0 by 2, 0 by minus 1, these all are in the form of p by q. And remember, q cannot be equal to 0. That means q is not equal to 0. That means remainder is never 0. So as you can see in these examples, 0 is, we have the numerator 0 and denominator we cannot have 0. So in the example, as you can see in the solution, denominators are 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2. So these all are the form of p by q and q is not equal to 0. So the answer is yes, 0 can be written in the form of rational number. So let us move to the second question. Find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. The question is asked to write 6 rational numbers between these two numbers, that is 3 and 4. As I told you earlier, we can have infinite rational numbers between any two rational numbers. So if two rational numbers are given, we can have uncountable, or we can say infinite number of rational numbers. But in the question it is asked only to write 6 rational numbers. So we have one trick, one shortcut method is there. I will teach you the shortcut method. Now the question is asked to find 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. So how many it is asked? 6. So what we will do? We have to add 1 plus 6. So how much we will get? 1 plus 6 is 7. So that 7 you have to multiply with these 3 both sides. You can see here 3 into 7 by 7. That means that 7 is multiplied in the numerator as well as denominator of these 3. Got it clear? 6 rational number means what you have to do? You have to add 1. So 6 plus 1 will give you 7. That 7 you have to multiply with both numerator and denominator. That means 3 into 7 by 7. Same number you will write in numerator as well as denominator. So 3 into 7 divided by 7. So if you multiply 3 into 7, you will get 21 divided by 7. Same number 7 by 7 will multiply with this 4 also. So 4 into 7 by 7. So you will get 28 by 7. It means we are making a common denominator. As you can see here, here also we have 7 and here also we have 7. Now it is very easy to determine 6 numbers between these two numbers. So 21 by 7, next come 22 by 7, 23 by 7, 24 by 7, 25 by 7, 26 by 7 and 27 by 7. So easily we can see we are getting 6 rational numbers between 3 and 4. Suppose question is find 7 rational numbers, then what we'll do? 7 plus 1 is how much? 8. So we'll multiply 3 into 8 by 8 and 4 into, here we'll put 8 by 8. Here we'll put 8 by 8. Got it clear? If the question is find 10 rational numbers, then what we'll do? We'll add 1. 10 plus 1 is how much? 11. So we'll multiply 3 into 11 divided by 11 and 4 into 11 divided by 11. Then if you multiply, you can easily get the required rational numbers between the given numbers. Got it clear? Okay, we'll move to the next question. Find 5 rational numbers between 3 by 5 and 4 by 5. So it is just like the previous question only. You just see here, find 5. So what we'll do? 5 plus 1. What is 5 plus 1? 6. So that 6 will multiply with numerator as well as denominator. So 3 by 5 into 6 by 6. So if you multiply, you will get 3 into 6 is 18. 5 into 6 is how much? 30. So same 6 by 6 will multiply with this one also, with this 4 by 5. So 4 into 6 and 5 into 6. So how much you will get? 4 6 ja is 24, 5 6 ja is 30. So now we have to find 5 rational numbers between these two. That means between 18 and 24 we have to find 6 numbers, as because denominator are same. So very simple. After 18 comes 19 by 30, 20 by 30, 21 by 30, 22 by 30 and 23 by 30. So very simple technique is that if the question here asked is 7, you add 7 plus 1, that is 8 by 8 both sides, that means numerator denominator both. If the question is find 10 rational numbers, you write 10 plus 1, that is 11, so 11 numerator as well as denominator. So in this manner we can solve any questions. So we can solve any questions regarding to find rational numbers between two given rational numbers. Got it clear? So we'll move to the next question. True and false question. State whether the following statements are true or false. Give reasons for your answers. So as you can see, 3 statements are there. We have to state which statements are true and which are false. Apart from that, we have to give reasons. If it is true, why it is true, and if it is false, why it is false. So let us move to the first question. Every natural number is a whole number. Every natural number. We know that natural number always starts from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the counting numbers are called as the natural numbers. Whereas whole numbers means it starts from 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, these all are a set of whole numbers. So the question is asked, is every natural number is a whole number? Whether all the natural number comes under the whole number? Yes, the answer is true. As because the set of whole numbers contains all the natural numbers. So whole numbers means 0, 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 are also natural numbers. So in the set of whole numbers, we also have the set of natural numbers. Okay. Let's move to the next question. Every integer is a whole number. As I told you earlier, the set of positive, negative and 0 are included in integers, whereas whole numbers means 0 and positive numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3. In the set of whole number, we do not have any negative number. So every integer cannot be a whole number. So the answer is false, because negative integer cannot come in whole number. Got it clear? So negative numbers are not included in the set of whole numbers. So we can say every integer is not a whole number. Okay. Question number 3. Every rational number is a whole number. Every rational number. Rational number is a number which can be expressed in the form of p by q, or we can say just like a fraction. Now see, a fraction cannot be in a set of whole numbers. So the answer is false. Let us take one example, 2 by 3. Now see, 2 by 3 is a rational number, but it is not included in whole number. So every rational number is not a whole number. Okay, let us move to the next question. So some examples are there in this exercise. So all of you go through it. So now we'll move to the next exercise, that is exercise 1.2. So exercise 1.2, the first question, state whether the following statements are true or false. Justify your answers. So 3 statements are given. You have to say which are true and which are false. If it is true, why it is true, and if it is false, why it is false. You have to justify your answer. You have to explain that why it is true and why it is false. So let us move to the first question. Every irrational number is a real number. So before that, just have a quick recap of real numbers. Real numbers are those numbers which include the set of rational as well as irrational. In simple words, we can say all rational and irrational numbers comes under real numbers. So yes, every irrational number is a real number. So the answer is true. All irrational and rational numbers together make up the collection of real numbers. So every rational number is a rational number. Got it clear? It is true, because irrational number also comes under real number. Let us move to next question. Every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. Okay. Now this question we have to understand nicely. Every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is the natural number. Now let us take the value of m as 1. So what is root 1? Root 1 means 1. If I take 2, then we'll get root 2. Now root 2 we cannot plot in a number line. Remember, irrational numbers, if we want to plot, it cannot be on the same number line. Okay. Now see one example. Let us take 3 by 2. Let us take the value of 3 by 2. So root over 3 by 2 we cannot express, we cannot draw in a number line. If I take a negative number, so negative number cannot, the square root of a negative number also we cannot draw in a number line. So the answer is false, as because if I have a square root of a fractional number or a square root of any number, for example prime number also, it is very difficult to draw in a number line. So the answer is false. Okay, number 3. Every real number is an irrational number. Every real number is an irrational number. The answer is false, as 2 is a real number but not a rational number. Now let us understand this question. every real number is an irrational number. Now suppose if I take root 4 or suppose root 9. Now root 4 means 2 square. Root 4 will become 2. Root 9 will become 3. Suppose root 16, it will become 4. And this 4 is not a rational number. 4 is a rational number. Or say suppose root 16, we can write as 4. So we cannot express as irrational number. So every real number is not an irrational number. So just go into the details of this solution and try to correlate with the concepts which I gave you in the previous video. These all questions are very important. All of you go through it nicely. Let us move to next question. Are the square root of all positive integers rational? If not, give an example of the square root of a number that is a rational number. So this question has two parts. Are the square root of all positive integers irrational? It means, are the square root of all numbers irrational? Now root 1 is 1. Root 2 we cannot solve, it is a irrational number. Root 3, it is also a irrational number. But suppose if I take root 9 means 3, as because 9 will give us 3 square and that square and this root will be cancelled. So we'll get 3. And 3 is not a rational number, it is a rational number. Let us take one more example, root 16. Root 16 means 4 square. So the square and the root cancel, we get 4. But 4 is not an irrational number, it is an rational number. Root 25 will get similarly 5. Root 36 will get 6. Root 49 will get it 7. Root 64 will get answer as 8. That means square root of all perfect numbers. Perfect numbers means 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. So the square root of all perfect numbers will get as rational number. So the answer is no. Square root of positive integers are not rational. Okay. Now let us come to a very important question. Students, listen, this question is very important. All of you practice this question repeatedly and try to understand nicely. Show how root 5 can be represented on a number line. That means how we can draw root 5 in a number line. Now see, root 5 square equal to 2 square plus 1 square. Now in the previous class 8, you have studied Pythagoras theorem. What is Pythagoras theorem? Now suppose, let us consider this is a right angle triangle. Let us learn what is Pythagoras theorem, okay? In this right angle triangle, this is called as the base, okay? This is called as the perpendicular, and this longest side is called as the hypotenuse. I will repeat once more. This is hypotenuse, this is base, and this is perpendicular. So whenever we want to draw a right angle triangle, Pythagoras states that the sum of squares of base and perpendicular is equal to square of hypotenuse. It means 2 square plus 1 square is equal to root 5 square. You will get the same value. So you see here, root 5 square, that means square of hypotenuse. So root 5 square is equal to sum of square of base, that is 2 square, plus perpendicular square means 1 square. You can see here 2 square means 4. 4 plus 1 square means 1. So 4 plus 1 will give you 5, and root 5 square means root will go away, we'll get 5. So 5 equal to 5. So now let us see how we will draw this root 5 in a number line. So what you will do, first you draw a straight line. Okay, name it as OX. Suppose here is O and here is suppose somewhere X. So first you draw a line OX. Okay. Now you have to measure the line segment OA. You have to draw OA whose length is 2 centimeter. So you draw a line OA whose length is 2 centimeter. Okay. Now you have to draw a perpendicular whose length is 1 centimeter. Why 1? Because see, base is 2 and perpendicular is 1. So you have drawn base 2. From A you draw a perpendicular of length 1. Then you join this point O and B. Now based on the Pythagoras theorem, the value of OB will be how much? Root 5. So I will write, let OX be a number line on which O represent 0 and A represent 2 unit. So let us draw a number line, suppose OX, where O is 0, and from here if you measure it should be 2 centimeter. Okay, so OA means 2 centimeter and AB means 1 centimeter. So from Pythagoras theorem we'll get OB square equal to OA square plus AB square. So I wrote here OB square equal to OA square plus AB square. Now what is OA? OA value is 2. 2 square plus what is value of AB? AB is 1. So 1 square. So 2 square means 4 plus 1 square means 1. So 4 plus 1 will give you how much? 5. Got it clear? Now we'll go to the next step. This is our first step. So we got OB equal to root 5. That means this length, hypotenuse we got as root 5. Now we'll take a compass. Using a compass with center O and radius OB. Now we'll take a compass and we'll keep at this position as a center. Okay. And we will take the measurement as this is the radius. This OB as the radius. So we'll put the compass here and we'll take this radius OB and we'll cut an arc. Means we'll draw an arc. Arc means part of a circle. We'll draw like this in such a manner that this arc cuts the line segment, or we can say this number line at this point P. Now this value of P will be root 5. So in this manner you can draw any irrational number in a number line. So remember, this all construction part has to be done with the help of compass, ruler. Okay. So in the next video we will be solving some more problems from the exercise 1.2. Thank you.